right, going live now for a brand new episode of Before the Cape, a special Thanksgiving. I don't know. It's not quite Thanksgiving in the episode, but I
It's
mean,
still Thanksgiving weekend.
still
Yeah.
it's Thanksgiving weekend. Doesn't necessarily have to do with the episode itself, but we're recording this on the weekend after Thanksgiving, so good holiday times that we celebrated, and it's kind of a busier weekend or holidays. It kind of just worked out that I think we were also just doing one episode this week. So, but yeah, let's get into this one episode. Almost at the halfway point through season one, which is very exciting. But we've got a special episode to talk about, one that was recommended by our Smallville guide right down there, Ian. That let's begin off by watching, or not begin off, but this is one of the solo episodes that we watch, titled Rogue. So let's get into it.
Welcome to the Den, the Dingus Den.
One.
Somebody save me. Anyway, welcome in everyone. Let's talk about Rogue. The Rogue episode, as we were just calling it while the intro was playing. Which certainly is a Rogue episode, you could say, with everything going on in it. But yeah, this is definitely quite a good episode. Definitely some things to talk about with it. I guess before we delve into specifics, what was everyone's overall thoughts on this Rogue episode?
I liked it. I thought it was interesting. It's the first episode so far that's not like a freak of the week or has something to do with the kryptonite,
True. Yeah.
which was a nice
Didn't
little.
even appear.
Yeah.
Right.
I liked that. It was definitely a very fun episode. Definitely a lot to unpack, with Clark and stuff. But yeah, it was good. So
yeah. What about you, Ian?
Yeah, it's one I really like too. I mean, I suggested it be a solo episode we talk about, specifically because I think it's a really important episode for Clark, learning some lessons about self-control and setting up, a very important thing that is an embodiment of what Superman is at his core, to not kill, except for that one movie that we're not talking about. But yeah, I really think it's just a really great episode for him, and especially as Andrew was saying, no meteor freak, no kryptonite. Yeah, this was the first episode where the villain, like, we had a guy who he didn't get powers from the kryptonite, but it still was green kryptonite. Yeah, I just always think that the human villains are kind of even scarier and just a more interesting threat than a superpowered villain, especially considering the fact that Clark's and Superman's nemesis over the years is Lex, who is human. So yeah, this was cool to see them.
Yeah.
See them facing off.
Yeah, it is definitely very refreshing to have something that wasn't another villain of the week, and I think I don't know. I remember the last couple of episodes; they weren't terrible, but I definitely felt as if like they weren't great, and maybe part of it was maybe getting a little stale of like, okay, we're saying the same kryptonite thing over and over in some ways, and so this one it was very interesting seeing this rogue cop, Sam Felon is his name. And so, but yeah, I definitely really enjoyed this one. I definitely think this is one of the best episodes so far. And so, definitely really liked it. That's for sure. So, right off the bat, we got to see
Metropolis.
a good look at
Yeah.
Metropolis.
Is this our first view of Metropolis?
I think we saw it one episode before.
We saw it last week with Jitters. Briefly.
Okay.
That's right.
Just a little bit. But not necessarily to this degree.
Yeah, we got a lot more Metropolis this time, which is also
Yeah.
very nice about it. See at the beginning here, Clark's.
I love the on the nose symbolism with Alexander the Great breastplate, and there's the S.
Oh
on
yeah,
it. And Lex is all like, yeah, that means like hope
And Clark
fight.
saying, "I can't ever imagine wearing that
Yeah.
going into battle."
I love that. Great.
So funny, but yeah, that's interesting.
It also would
piece.
have
Yeah.
been sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it's an interesting thing for the episode to revolve all around as well. But yeah, definitely very on the nose. What were you about to say though?
I was gonna say I know Clark has grown up going to school, and but it would have been funny if when Lex was like, "This was Alexander the Great," if he was like, "Who's that?" Because from Krypton, like if he would have been like, "Okay, who's that?" Like, but he probably would know him from school.
Well, he might.
so.
I mean, it depends on if they started teaching that. Again, he's 15. He's a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
So if he hasn't taken some ancient, wait, where is Alexander the Great from?
Like
Is it Russia?
No,
let me see. I don't remember.
That doesn't sound right to me.
Greek.
Yeah.
Ancient Greek.
Okay. I mean, this is one thing that threw me in this episode, though. Clark is like, "Man, Lex, I didn't know you were such a history buff." When pretty much every conversation he has with Lex has some
Yeah.
sort of historical anecdote. And like one of the earlier episodes where Lex shows him this strategic toy model
yeah.
thing, that was Alexander the Great as well. So, Clark's memory, not that
Yeah,
great.
maybe he just doesn't pick up on it. Yeah, he's just like,
Or he's just
doesn't
not
realize.
listening to Lex whenever he talks.
Probably not. It's probably thinking about Lana. So
Yeah. Especially since we saw Lana here, yeah.
yeah.
We meet I was trying to see what her name is, but I don't see
Victoria.
Victoria, right?
I loved this scene with where Lex is talking about going after Lana, and then she shows up, and then he's like, "I'll see you later, Clark."
Yeah, definitely got a little bit of a different side of Lex.
Because he mentions
different ways.
the Empire stuff, people taking over before they're 30. And that's when Lana's like, "You got a couple years left," and then not long after that, Victoria shows up. And I'm like, "She wants something." I'm like, "Yeah, I could tell right away." I was like, "She wants something. She's not just trying to make up with an old friend."
It's that shiny head.
She's trying to see if she has anything in her teeth off the reflection of his bald head.
That's the only reason she keeps him around. A constant
Exactly.
mirror.
Yeah. She's like, "Lex, let me look at the top of your head real quick." All right, good. Nothing's in my teeth.
That's funny. But so yeah, as we keep on going in this episode, it gets really interesting with the first big scene here, and I almost took a, what do you want to say? The thumbnail was almost going to be the scene of the bus.
No.
When the bus smashes into Clark at first.
That was so awesome.
Yeah,
I know the guy has like a heart attack, but then he dies from the shock of, or did he? He didn't die, but I just thought it was funny.
I didn't catch if, like, did Clark even check on this guy?
No, because he couldn't see him, because he looked around the front of the bus, but I couldn't see him even on my screen. I don't know if Clark could with his X-ray vision, but
it was kind of weird because it just seemed like it kind of disappeared, or like.
once Clark runs off, the guy gets up from in the bus and then like.
Oh, he
walks off.
does? Okay,
Yeah.
I missed that. Because I was like, this is Clark. He doesn't check to make sure that
Yeah.
that guy inside is okay.
And he even kind of hesitated at first with even stopping the bus until he sees like the dog, the homeless person. Instead of a cat, it's a dog. And so, yeah. But I like that this was the
Oh,
first
that guy
episode.
did get up. Okay.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
liked the concept of getting to the point where someone sees Clark and witnesses his power. Now, what he uses Clark for with his powers is kind of like, really, dude, like you're wanting to steal files when, but whatever. I just thought it was funny, but it's neat to finally get to the point of someone witnessing him in the act.
Yeah.
So,
And maybe it's like kind of like what it's like an example of what, not exactly what Lex would do at this time, but like Lex might try to use him as well. But yeah, he definitely has had a lot of close calls of people not seeing him.
Well, it's cool to see finally something have a consequence in this aspect, which is cool. I thought seeing, somebody use it and that being the main evil drive this episode of somebody using it for. I mean, we saw the person being manipulative shortly before, right? And so like we got the setup that like, oh yeah, this guy's a bad guy, but then we do see, how he then later uses it, which I thought was really. Like it made it, like, as you said, it was a really interesting villain. I think part of what makes it really scary is it's very like realistic in some ways.
Yeah,
like,
he's not being influenced by anything,
Yeah.
I did notice in this episode that made me think of a prior episode when Jonathan when he's working on the generator engine thing. There was I think it was episode 3 where he was working on something early in the episode, and that was used against Clark later, like in this episode where Clark helps him with the generator, and then it's used later as a test on him. So I'm gonna start noticing when Jonathan Kent's working on something in the barn, I'm gonna start being like, all right, is this throwing, is this gonna be thrown at Clark later in the episode?
That's very possible.
Yeah.
I mean, they do a lot of foreshadowing stuff of that's something that directors and writers do so much of the time, is that they throw something in right at the beginning, so that it's still there, but it's something that they're sure you'll forget by the time you get to it again, so it's like a surprise again. It's not exactly the same thing here, but it just reminded me of that. But yeah, but just that, like, what kind of mind do you have to have that you're just like, you see this happen with the bus and then you're like, let me drop this giant thing on him.
Yeah, I had that thought too, and then I thought, this guy's such a dirty cop. He could probably say like, "Oh, he was working the barn by himself and it fell on him," or something like that.
Yeah,
but again, it's true. It's like, yeah, what would you do if it just crushed him and he died? Like,
apparently he wouldn't care. Maybe he would be all like, "Well, that was a fluke. This kid had something. He was taking something that made it like that." Or
he was just like, "Oh well, yeah, I found him like this,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he finds Lex, and we find, before that scene, he finds Lex, and we see that the two knew each other.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting that we're starting to find out a little bit more about Lex's prior life in Metropolis. That he got into a lot of trouble, and it's an expensive trouble, from what it sounded like.
And Phelan was the guy that was cleaning a lot of it up.
Yeah.
Connecting all the dots to why he's on Smallville in the first place, than just, hey, go micromanage the side part of the company. And so I do really appreciate that as well. Seeing a lot of Lex's shenanigans this time was, I thought, we got to see a different couple sides. Like, that was the side, and then obviously Lex's love life in a way as well. Getting to see a bit of that was, quite interesting, I thought, during this whole episode.
Yeah, you're right. There was like a lot of different sides to Lex in this episode.
Yeah.
Especially concerning around Clark, that, you know, like in this, I don't know if people can see what you have on the screen
No,
here. No.
but
Okay. Especially so here when Phelan confronts him and like shows him this photo of the two of them being together at the party, he's like, I don't know who that is. You know, he's protecting Clark at this moment. And then he tries to warn Clark about him later. But at the same time, he wants to get more information on Clark as well. It's like, why is this guy interested in him? Because he knows Phelan so well. He knows he's not going to be involved in something that is superfluous. So, and of course he already has his suspicions about Clark. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I do like how specifically over the course of this episode, we kind of see those suspicions kind of grow a bit, where I'm starting to at least investigate it without him necessarily knowing that he's kind of investigating it, you know? Or at least how close he was to finding it. Like, that was one of the things that really stuck me with, right, pretty much at the end of the episode, that I thought that definitely stood out.
I mean, I know this is at the end, but just the fact that Phelan hates Lex so much to withhold the truth in that one moment.
Says a lot. Like,
it's just gonna,
I mean, think it just shows you how much people like hate each other. Of like, you know, sure, you could carry on the torch of what he was wanting to accomplish, but like, just chooses to not.
I mean, all he wanted to accomplish was his own goals. He literally does not care about anyone else. So it makes sense for him.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, man, I'm taking this with me. It's mine.
But, you know, a lot of those people have a sense of revenge sometimes too, you know, and we know how we'd use people. But yeah. No, that's very valid.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need your...
I loved the first scene at the torch, because Pete was not in this episode at all outside of one line when Chloe's basically fired and she's like, what happened? And he's like, I think you were just fired.
Oh my God, right? That scene, because it was like Chloe turns around and she's like, there were 3 other people there, and she's like, Clark, what happened? And Pete's the one that answered, like, shut up, Pete, I'm not talking to you.
Exactly. Oh. And this principal, who does he think he is? He's only been here for like 6 months. He's not like the football coach who had been there for 20 years.
Yeah, 17. I think
17. Sorry,
but yeah, I really liked Quan in the episode with the football coach. But
yeah,
I don't
like
him
anymore. He's getting the power in his head. Like he doesn't have enough power to do.
I mean, it makes sense if this is like his first year as the principal, and you've got this girl on the school paper who is just throwing out all these crazy things. And sure, weird things happen in Smallville, but at the same time, it's like the majority of it, the masses don't know. You know, and they can't really like prove it. Like I was thinking, I missed talking about it during the episode, but back in the episode Hourglass, with the guy who was old and then made himself younger, like he died in the Kent's silo and turned back into an old guy. How did the Kents explain that? And do the police think, like, do the Kents say, oh yeah, this guy kidnapped the old man again, brought him to the silo, drowned him in the corn, and then ran away? So like, do the police still think he's out there?
That's a good point.
Or do the Kents tell the truth and say, nah, man, it's green kryptonite? So maybe it makes sense that later when the cops arrest Jonathan, maybe it's like, you know, weird stuff is going on with these Kents. Maybe there's something more to them. So maybe that is like, maybe it's enough for them to believe that this is possible, that Jonathan could be a murderer.
I didn't think about that at
Yeah.
all. That's some interesting points.
I didn't think about it until now. I'm pretty impressed with myself.
I know. I was like, oh, I can't believe that didn't occur to me.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know how you would be able to explain that without sounding crazy. Like, oh no, that guy's old and young at the same time. You don't know which one you're gonna get.
Right? It's easier to believe that it was a copycat person and runs away. So
because they don't even know how he changes. Like, so they wouldn't be able to say, throw him in the water and see how he turns young.
yeah,
Like,
maybe they
wouldn't
should
even
just
know.
try that again with someone else. Like,
Yeah.
just throw them in the water. Make sure they're in an electric wheelchair so that there's sparks and they'll
Exactly.
grow young again. I mean,
Yeah.
when you really think about it, if they could really use that as like a beneficial thing, you know, for people that are older. Like, even if it's just a limited amount of time thing, like they can't figure out how to like extend it to like fully reverse aging, then you could still use it for like seniors who to like live life again, like, you know, be able to really live again for a limited amount of time. And oh man, Lex should get in on that because that would be a big money maker. Okay, I know
It
we're not
would.
talking about that episode.
We're talking about high school drama here. All right.
Right. This is
right. Just live again, commit all those murders again. Oh wait, we've already
no. Not everyone's a murderer.
Yeah.
Although if any town has their old folks home full of murderers, it would be Smallville.
It would be 100%. Yeah.
Certainly this Smallville. I always thought Smallville was innocent until seeing this show, and then you look at it, you're like, maybe Smallville's not so innocent.
And it's not so small anymore with a population of 45,001. That's a pretty big town, even if it's
we talked
surrounding.
about this. They fudged a bunch of borderlines and made their counties bigger.
Of course.
You know. But speaking of this section of the episode with Chloe and losing her editorship of the Torch, and everything that happens with that, I personally felt, and I did want to hear your guys' thoughts with this, I thought this was a weak part of the episode.
Yes.
It felt to me
It was
that
forced.
they had a really good storyline for the rest of the episode, but they needed to fill that 10-ish minutes of space, and this is what they had. And I couldn't figure out a link between any of that plot line and the rest of the episode. Did you guys see anything? What did you guys think about all this?
No, I was going to bring that up because I thought when I watched the episode today, it felt like very much a forced storyline, and I understand high school drama and everything, but even like later when Lana gets the paper back and she's like, the only way to get it back is I'm the editor, but you still get to be the writer, and Chloe just breaks down and then cries and all that jazz. I was like, I understand the high school drama, but I was like, but this, like you said, it's just to fill the time of the episode. And even when they make up later, I was kind of like, all right, this was, I guess, a little side plot that didn't hurt the episode, but it also wasn't needed either. So,
I mean, maybe it was to some extent, at least not about the. And Spencer, I do want to hear your thoughts about this too, but not about the specifics, like the editor plot, but maybe it was more about kind of the Chloe versus Lana thing. And I do hate when shows pit women characters
it's the whole
against
Clark
each
thing.
other. Yeah.
They both like.
I mean,
Clark,
yeah, sure, he's gorgeous, whatever. But but I still don't really like it when they pit people against each other. But and the show does get better about that. But it was good to like kind of bring it more to a forefront because we've seen like nudges of like or hints is more the right word of that Chloe is interested in Clark.
Oh yeah.
And the actor played it really well. Like,
Mm-hmm.
She and Clark are, they're like fawning over Chloe's most recent headline, and she's looking at Clark, kind of
Yeah.
adoringly. And
Yeah.
Lana comes in, and Clark's gaze instantly goes to her, and Chloe's eyes just lose some of that light.
Yeah.
And so she played it really well. And
Mm-hmm.
as we do find out later, Chloe is like, my main thing was that you were like taking away this thing that I have with Clark that you don't. But we're just
Yeah.
friends.
I know. I thought that was funny when they, No. She's like, I like having alone time with Clark, but we're just friends,
Yeah.
Just friends, obviously, just friends.
Yeah.
I definitely very much echo your all's thoughts about this. Is like, it definitely. Anytime it came up, I was like, "Oh, okay, we're back to this, away from the exciting stuff." Throughout watching the episode, I don't know. I appreciate that they tried to give Chloe something else, and I think this would have had better potential if maybe it was used elsewhere. Like if they found a better plot line to put it with or something,
Yeah,
But,
if it wasn't as intense of an episode on the opposite side.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's like it was just, as you said, it was forced, and it's not like we spent the whole episode in Metropolis. We still got a good bit in Smallville with the actual Kent family, which is great as well. So it's not like it was in there just to say that there's Smallville and Smallville, But like, I don't know. Like it was just it could have been better. I don't know. I truly do think though, like if there was a better overall story that it was linked with, it could have been better. But it just doesn't help that it wasn't really linked up to it. I feel like anyway, to really link them two up are kind of far-fetched in some ways.
This would have fit, I think, really good in one of the previous episodes, or even a future episode that centered more at the high school.
Yeah.
But this was really the only part that took place at the high school.
Yeah, and if it was more like about a story that she was telling then, like trying to go after this specific story, but Quan is trying to shut her down.
Like imagine how great it would have been with that like sort of football story in a way, with the coach of being like, hey, you're saying this stuff that isn't necessarily true about this guy. Don't do that. Like there could have been way better ways about them being.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know. They're definitely, like I said, it was just, I think it's a storyline that had a potential, just maybe not in the spot, a puzzle piece put in the wrong spot, maybe you could say.
I mean, even what they did later with Lana's scene with Clark, where Clark comes in after Jonathan has been arrested. And first off, her reaction is, man, Clark, I heard about your dad. That's too bad. Like, what the hell? He's just been put in jail for murder. They found a body in the barn.
She goes,
your reaction?
She goes, I know that he didn't do it. Anyway, back to me with my editorial stuff. I can't figure out this printer.
Yeah, I can't figure out the printer, man. And like so Clark could.
Yeah.
Clark's
well, you just hit it.
Skills.
That's what you do. You just hit it. Hit it with a baseball bat. Take it out to the field. Hit it with a baseball bat. And
I mean, if it was something with math, because we learned he's really good with math.
Yeah.
Although, wait, maybe what he did here. Okay, and we didn't see this because we were from Lana's perspective. But when he went to fix the printer, he super sped it out to the school library and looked through like the manuals and stuff and figured it out and then came back.
Yeah. Or I was thinking
you can't prove me wrong.
No, you can't.
Yeah. But anyways, that scene.
I so want to prove you wrong, but I can't. You're right.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
No.
But with that scene, and she's like trying to relate to him. Because he's like, man, it'd be better if I didn't come into my parents' lives. And she's like, let me tell you a story, Clark.
She's like, listen up, Get your
and I didn't think, because they've had a lot of good scenes that like connects them together and connects their pasts and what they're going through. And I just thought this one just kind of fell flat.
Yeah, it was another one of those kind of with like the paper storyline that just didn't quite fit with what else was going on in the episode. I guess feel wise, like everything else is so intense, and maybe it was to give like a nice little break in between. But yeah, if my dad was just arrested like that, I wouldn't be so calm. Like, oh well. Like,
well, he wasn't calm at first.
no, it wasn't.
Let's
No,
actually
no.
let's talk about some
Yeah.
of that stuff. Unless Spencer, that you had a direction you wanted to go.
No, not in particular.
Because I really liked
let's
the
start
Kent
talking
stuff
about the
in this
anger
family.
issues, because like
Let's go into therapy now.
Yes.
Well, let's start with Jonathan. Like Jonathan, okay, first, Phelan approach. Okay, well, Phelan drops a whatever that was on Clark, and then says, "Meet me here."
Mm-hmm.
And then Jonathan goes to meet him, and at first I was like, "Man, Jonathan is like not like I expected him to walk in there and slam the guy's head against the table and say, 'You stay away from my son,' which he did, but it took a while." So what did you guys think about that scene where Jonathan attacked the guy?
I mean, I honestly would probably do the same thing. I mean, with how, Jonathan Kent is very protective of Clark. And this guy out of nowhere is coming into their lives and saying, "I'm going to expose him if you don't let me use Clark." And Jonathan's like, "I'm not going to let you exploit my son." And he's threatening him. And I think, if he could do it over again, he wouldn't react like that. But in the moment, he just is like, he's trying to show the guy, like, "You're not going to do this. You're not going to walk over us and just take our son." So I can't blame him for reacting.
Should have brought a tape recorder. I mean, because they didn't say anything about Clark's abilities, not directly.
Right.
So he could have used this to say, "Hey, I mean, maybe the guy could have gotten out of it, especially because what he's threatening is telling the truth, and he is a cop."
True.
So
yeah.
Mm.
But I don't think he even fully knows. He just knows that Clark is super strong, but that's all he knows about Clark. He doesn't necessarily know about all his other stuff. But I
mean, they grow kids with strong bones on those farms.
Yeah. And I think it's funny too. What he's using Clark for is almost not what I expected him to use someone with super strength for.
What would you think? What would you think?
Well, I don't know. Just going into someone's apartment and stealing files seemed a little less anticlimactic than, I don't know, something bigger scaled. I mean, we know that's what he's using it for earlier in the episode, but it just was like, you're going through all this trouble for someone like that, when I feel like he has enough connections through his dirty cop stuff that he probably could just...
was trying it. I think that's... the guy that he was threatening at the beginning, he was like, okay, he was trying to do that, but the guy wasn't really cooperating.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
He needs to get these files fast because they're getting... Obviously, Internal Affairs is getting close to pinning stuff on him.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think he's a little desperate in wanting to use Clark.
Oh, that's true.
He'd come up with more stuff later, because even though later on he says to Clark, "Oh yeah, it'll be just this thing," he's like, "Man, Clark," at the end, he's like, "This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship."
Yeah.
He wouldn't let him go.
No, I love that he kept saying, "This is the final job." And then he's like, "We're going to make a great team." I would like to know, because I can't remember if they said, I'd like to know how he played off the safe falling on his car.
I know.
How do you explain that? Like,
with the files in his hands.
Yeah. How can you play that off as, "Oh, I think this guy's murdered someone"? Like, I know, like I said, he's a dirty cop, he has connections, but he's got skills then, because I'm like,
he's got skills.
How do you explain that?
Deeply rooted, you could say.
Because that scene, like, which I love that scene, like Clark just throwing the safe onto this guy's car, and then being like, "Hey."
Later.
Yeah, it's like a scene from Home Alone where you wave at the bad guys.
It's like when Kevin's throwing the bricks down at him.
Yeah. Oh, if he had hit him in the
So
head, that would have been bad though. But
Yeah, I know, but that's not
that
Clark.
scene is like, that's like an end of the episode type thing.
I
You
thought
know,
the
that-
episode was ending. I really did. And I checked the time and I was like, oh, there's still 20 minutes left. I was like, this episode fell fast.
Yeah,
I really thought that.
because
Yeah.
it really is like, oh, he tricked him, and the cops all pull around, but no, it just got worse from there.
Yeah.
Phelan then killed the guy. I don't even know who the guy was.
No, you know what? He probably was just walking down the sidewalk and he was like, I don't like the way he looked at me. Boom. You know,
But
like,
you would think it would have to be someone in Smallville, because otherwise, why would Jonathan kill him? Like, where's
Right.
the motivation?
but not even Jonathan recognized him. So obviously the guy wasn't super friendly. So, I mean, like,
I mean,
maybe he was
40,000 people in Smallville.
ah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Plenty of-
And the thing about the cops is they can run fingerprints unless the cop guy got Jonathan's fingerprints off his coat from when he
Mm.
pushed him. They could just run fingerprints on the gun and be like, oh, your DNA's not on that. So obviously you didn't use the gun.
Well, I mean,
They're
was
small
there a
town
gun?
cops.
Did they
so-
find a gun?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when they found it in the truck under the seat.
Okay,
And
we
a
could just
bag.
wear gloves, man. You know.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
That's
I
what
also
you
like.
got
I
thoughts
really
about-
thought Clark was gonna like take out the cops there and I liked how Jonathan Kent was like, "You need to be strong. You know, you need to.
Mhm.
Everything's gonna work out just fine."
Yeah, he
I'm
was the one to
paraphrasing,
calm him
but-
down in that moment.
Yeah,
No,
And
I
then Clark put his fist through that pillar.
I know. I was like, Clark, at least do that in the barn. Why are you doing that in the house? And the officer guy is just right there. I'm like, dude.
How many times
You're
have we
freaky.
told you, don't use your super strength in the house?
Yeah, exactly.
So about those anger issues.
Imagine Clark as a kid running around and like just punching things, and he just oh, there goes. We're gonna have to get a new dinner table.
Oh, there it
No.
goes. Oh, there goes the sink.
Oh, there
Um,
goes the TV. I don't even know if they have a TV.
But this is like, I mean, how many times have you guys like gotten really angry and like hit the wall or kicked a chair or something like that? Like,
I would probably break
If-
my hand if I hit the wall.
yeah, but like Clark gets angry and it's very dangerous. And
Yeah.
then Phelan comes in when he's this angry, and he grabs him.
Did y'all
And
notice the
threatens
change
him.
of his eye color when he got really angry?
What?
Yeah, his eyes change when he gets really angry and he's holding up Phelan. I don't know exactly what it was. I know Spencer's pulling it up here, but it was like a
You're saying it's like right around here, right?
yeah, when he grabs Phelan and he's holding him up, his eyes kind of change color a bit.
Okay, I'm watching.
I noticed it and I was like, I wonder what that means.
Tom
and
Mullins is just that good of an actor.
Super Kenzie,
yeah,
super-
he can do it on command. But I didn't know if that was a thing with like Superman or that Clark can do.
You know what would be really cool? Okay, if the
Let's see. Okay, so they kind of when he's looking at him here, see how they kind of maybe it's just the lighting, but I thought when I was watching it, it looked like they kind of changed a bit.
I mean, you do have the Blu-ray,
I know. I was gonna say maybe it's just the lighting or something.
or it's the George Lucas version of Smallville where they came back and they
Right.
added in something, because it would be really cool if they did do that. If that was like a slight hint of his heat vision
Laser
ability.
eye. See,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. I thought it was something like that because his eyes got really big,
Mhm.
and it looked like I said, it looked like they changed color a bit, and I was like, ooh, I wonder if it's like the warming up.
Man, that would be so cool.
And I was like, bye bye, Phelan. So, speaking of which, the actor that plays him, he was really good in this episode because I hated his
Mhm.
character the whole time. And I was
Oh,
like,
good.
that's how I know he's doing a good job.
People need to learn when actors do a great job of playing a character who's purposely such a dick or so annoying, you
Yeah.
know? And this is one of those, whereas like the actor did so well, you legitimately hate the person.
Because especially if you think about the context of this episode, he's a guest star on the first season of a show that you don't know if it's going to be successful, and he still gives a heck of a performance. And honestly, all the guest stars really, for the most part, have. For the most part, some of them,
For the
you know,
most part, yeah.
for the
they've
most
had a
part, there's
really
been a
good
few that were a little like, okay, whatever. But he's been the standout so far for me. I think with these, he's not a freak of the week, but the villain of the week type of guy.
Mhm.
He's probably been my
Complicated
favorite, to be
character.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah, there's I don't know if either of you have watched Battlestar Galactica.
Need to.
Um,
Wait,
okay.
the original or the newer one?
The one that was starting in like 2005 or
The
something.
newer one.
Yeah. There was a point in that show where I was so mad and I like hated every character, and I wasn't sure if it was because it was bad or it was because they were doing so well
Yeah.
and making me so angry about these issues.
You know, that should
So
have been on my watch list for a while, and I
should watch.
was looking into it literally a week or two ago, and it's like streaming nowhere. It's like, what?
I
Oh,
know.
So
well,
I own the
it
first
is
season on DVD,
Universal.
but yeah.
Universal is
Well,
really
Universal is just as bad as Amazon then. So where they
Yes.
own stuff and then they don't even decide to stream it because they suck. Anyway, I mean, here's the thing. My mom got back Peacock recently. I like looked on there briefly and I'm like, there's like nothing here to watch. Like, at least that interested me.
Right. Yeah.
So
It's got Top Chef.
So it's just like, whoa, how did I miss that?
I love Top Chef. I'm sorry. But I did stop paying the subscription, yeah, because that's the only thing I watched on there was Top Chef. So stopped.
Top Chef.
That's the next show we'll be discussing after Smallville. Just
after Smallville,
and then
believe
Gossip
you-
Girl. You said
Yeah,
there was
exactly.
Gossip Girl, and then there was something else that I don't remember.
We can just throw Battlestar Galactica in there.
there you go.
Throw that in there.
We'll just have to
Good show
pirate it.
and all those after.
Honestly, that would be a really good show to discuss because there's so much in there.
Yeah.
Oh, so many layers.
Ooh.
You just got to remember in about 4 years when we're done with Smallville that Galactica. I'm sure it'll come up again, but yeah,
it's definitely one of those shows I do want to get into. So, anyway, gotta take things one step at a time. So back into the world of Smallville.
Back to Smallville.
Back to Smallville. While there's big space battles going on, there's a bunch of high school drama happening in Smallville that's obviously more important. So, obviously, that's just how
Who cares
go.
about this Phelan guy? I want to know what's going on with this torch. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the torch is trying to be handed off.
Why did he even go there?
Oh, Clark?
Yeah.
Well, I know he said he was hiding out. Maybe he just feels like that's a space he can go that, I don't know, it's just the outside world is separate from. I don't know. Like,
oh, careful, Clark. That's Tina.
Yeah.
She's wearing yellow. It's Tina.
Yes, that's right. And you know what's funny is they look so similar. The actresses look so similar.
Right, from behind here, that could be Tina.
It could be. I wouldn't know. Yeah. I still love that line of saying they look like sisters. I'm like, no, you don't.
I yelled at the screen when that line happened.
Yeah, like nope. I was like, there's no world.
One thing I do want to say about that high school drama, the torch plotline.
You want to burn
what
it?
do you think about what Lana did do? Like, see, if it was me in that position, that Quan says, well, if you're so passionate about it, you should be the editor. I would say, you know what? Chloe's my friend. I need to go talk to her about that first.
Yeah.
And then obviously she's having like this plan. It's like, okay, if I'm the editor of the Torch, you can still like ghostwrite and it can still be your work. Like approach her with that idea first, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be the smarter thing to go.
I love that's such an ethical, great way to go about it.
Yeah.
That's so great. It's beyond most human comprehension.
And you
so
gotta
what
remember,
are you saying? I'm not human,
remember,
or that I'm a really
I said most human comprehension. Most
investigate
people
so I'm a
don't think
good
that way.
human.
No, well, and you gotta think
Exactly.
these are high school girls and just high school kids in general. They're not thinking, I think, ahead, like the ripple effect of like, oh, if I do this, it's gonna cause Chloe. I think she genuinely thought, oh, Chloe's gonna love this idea.
Yeah.
Which maybe in the moment, maybe she thought,
And
I don't
she
know.
might have if it wasn't Clark.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't that was the biggest thing.
Yeah, I think if Clark and Chloe were not that close, at least on Chloe's end, then I don't think she would have cared as much.
Or at least she would have processed it more logically and not emotionally.
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Man, Clark really does ruin everything.
And he doesn't even have to try.
Lana and Chloe could be the best of friends, and yet...
Yeah. Oh, another character that was kind of sidelined this episode was Whitney. We saw him briefly at the whatever you call that party thing, but outside of that quick shot, he's not in the episode at all. So
yeah, we didn't even have to remember his name this episode, and yet you did. And I'm proud of you.
I know. Wow. And next week he's going to be in the episode. I'm going to go, what's his name?
What's that name? Is it Willie? Willie.
Yeah, I think it's Willie. Yeah.
Willie.
I'm surprised it's not an L name. Everyone else has an L name.
Yeah, right. It could have been
Larry.
I like Larry better. Yeah.
Wait, what were you about to say?
I was gonna say Louis.
But
Lincoln.
Larry Lincoln. I like that one.
Larry Lincoln.
Yeah.
Larry
Star football player.
Is his full name.
Smallville Crows.
Oh,
Man,
you know,
they
if
need
his
to
name is
rename
Larry,
Smallville.
if his name's Larry Lincoln, he's not a football player. He's like a nerd or something, and Lana wouldn't go after him, and so.
What? Are you saying that Lana is a snob or something?
No, I'm just kidding. Well, I don't know. She likes to play with Clark a bit, I think. Maybe without realizing
they're just friends.
Right, they're just friends.
They're just friends.
Yeah, just friends. And then Lana's like, "Oh, I'm cold, Clark. Can I have your jacket?" Whoa.
Wait, when did that?
This scene, no, I'm just making it up.
No, keep on going. Make them believe it.
This prison scene, I was listening to the Talkville episode on this just for some behind the scenes stuff. And Tom Welling was saying that when Jonathan Kent puts his fist up on the glass, that was improvised. That wasn't in the script.
Nice.
And he said he didn't realize what was going on, but he said because they shot from Kent's perspective first, then when they shoot from Clark's, he knows, all right, we're gonna do this as like a father-son thing, like a thing or whatever. So and I just like how well Jonathan Kent is handling this whole situation. I mean, how many people, if they're wrongly accused of something and thrown in jail, would be able to handle it so well and even tell Clark, like, hey, you can't kill the guy. And this phone messages are definitely not being recorded by the police. And so,
yeah, right. I just
so
I
Clark
mean, I don't think they do.
No, I don't think they do.
But it is weird. It's like, I mean, why couldn't they?
Yeah.
But anyways, you're right. I mean, it's very much. I mean, it's being a parent. It is worrying more about your child and how this is affecting your child, and what kind of face you have to put on for them, because this is teaching them something.
Exactly.
And like, I mean, just the fact that he gets scared, he's like, but you didn't kill him, right? And that little sigh right there that we see.
And he's
But
like,
it's
"Come
just
on, Clark." You know.
but it's just because he knows, like, he lost his temper earlier, and he
Yeah.
knows that him doing that wouldn't kill the guy. Like Clark
Exactly.
doing the same thing. If Clark grabbed someone and slammed them down into a table, it would
That's all she
slam them
wrote.
through the table, possibly
Yeah.
through the floor, possibly to the center of the earth.
That's
Right.
exactly.
And
Out the
Jonathan
other
knows
Where the
end.
that.
dinosaurs are. Anyway.
Yeah.
And I think he also, he probably feels maybe guilty in some way
Mhm.
because he knows that he doesn't have the best temper. And
Yeah.
like Clark has probably seen that before in his life. And so he's always trying to like rein himself in because
Mhm.
he's teaching Clark. He's teaching Clark every day. And
Yeah.
that is the core of this episode.
I was about to say
And
Clark being mad at himself,
mm,
you know. But yeah, I
but
didn't.
that's the core of this episode. That is the core thing. Like each of these, maybe not every episode, but a lot of the episodes of Smallville are like pieces of
Mhm.
what becomes Superman. And I think this one of not killing people,
Yeah.
not losing your temper because you could kill someone so easily, and
Mhm.
that he chooses not to
Yeah.
is so important
Right.
for
I,
Clark going into his future as
and I
Superman.
think sometimes Clark gets, I think, a little bit startled or scared at how powerful he is when he realizes what he
Yeah.
can do with just like you said, just something as simple as what Jonathan Kent did at the coffee shop. If Clark did that, it's probably all she wrote. So
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes he's like, what he wants to help, but he's like, if I lose control, I could end up making things worse.
And it's probably actually retroactively like teaching him too, because maybe
Mhm.
he's now like internally thinking back to the football thing and where he's like,
Yeah.
oh man, my dad was right. I can lose my temper very easily in the heat of the moment.
Hmm. And especially, I mean, this guy, Phelan, was even getting on my nerves. So if I
Mm,
had Clark's powers, I don't think he would be, the episode would have already been over because he would not, I probably would
Right.
have accidentally like broke his back or something and been like, oops.
Oh,
I mean,
sorry.
honestly, this guy had such a backbone. Because even
Yeah.
when Clark is slamming him up against the wall and stuff, it's like,
He's still being a jerk. He's still
I
taunting.
know he's
I'm like,
like not fearing for his life.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, I can still manipulate this kid.
Yeah. And I think he knows because he's a high school kid. He's still impressionable.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if Clark was like Superman, that dude would be peeing his pants if he was being held up against a beam like that.
But he is right,
So,
though. He specifically was using Clark's family against
mhm.
him. And
Yeah.
if Clark did kill him, he knew that he would still win
Yeah.
because Clark would go to jail for murder. Jonathan would probably be in jail for murder. They would totally lose the farm. Poor Mrs. Kent
Mhm.
would have to start working in the coffee house.
Yeah.
So even though it's kind of like going to, I'm just spinning this as
Right.
I'm
The
going, but it's kind
logistical
of like
side of
jumping to
things.
the end where even in death, he holds that from Clark because he wins.
Yeah.
And even if Clark killed him, he would win.
Yes.
This guy is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I did love here when Clark tried to play he's like, isn't this box alarmed? And Phelan's like, they only alarm the parts that they think people can get into. So, and Clark's like, no crap.
Right.
Because he even says earlier, and Clark is that this guy thinks of like 10 scenarios for every situation.
Mhm.
He's like, you may have outsmarted me with the files, but he already had that in mind that Clark was probably going to do something like that. And so this guy is not dumb. Like he's really smart and it's annoying.
Can
I don't
I
like
can I bring up one thing about that that I actually thought of for the first time while watching the episode? Like you say that Phelan has 10 backup plans, 10 scenarios. Like he has everything covered. Why don't the Kents have a contingency plan for if someone discovers Clark's secret, like to this extent. Do they have a plan to get out of Dodge or get out of Smallville? You know, because they should.
Yeah, they should. I think, and I know you would know this, Ian, better than us, so no spoilers. I wonder if after, like, with this, when the reality kicks in on how someone could, I wonder if they do start to think of one in, like, the coming episodes or seasons of, like, Clark. And because Clark's not far from being an adult too, so maybe they even encourage him, like, hey, you need to have some kind of fail-safe plan.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That, yeah, if someone, because if this guy actually exposed him, yeah, what would they do? They'd just be like, oh, sorry guys, we didn't know, we just found out too. Like, no, that is a good question because I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, I like that potential connection of like maybe this is their wake up call. So I don't know. I
Wake
like
up
that
call, just as we see the scene with an alarm clock.
Right.
Nice timing,
yeah.
Spencer.
Not intentional, but yeah. See, here's the thing. Chris is saying someone should write a paper on the risk management plans of the kids.
Yeah. Well, and even the security at their home. Don't get me wrong. I live in a small town too, and you don't think anyone's going to come up on your property, but we're 9 episodes in. I got to say, in at least 4 or 5, the villain or freak of the week has ended up in their barn or somewhere on their property, and I'm like, come on, kids.
Maybe they should start that.
Yeah, like, guys.
Although they don't have the money for that. They don't have the
No,
budget.
that's true. But get like a driveway alarm so you can hear when someone's pulling up. Or I gotta say, this scene where Clark's getting shot at, a little too long.
This is so funny.
We could see he's dodging it, but they were doing like every shot possible, and it just was getting a little long. I'm like, okay,
it's like, oh, do I dodge that one way? Actually, I'm gonna dodge it the other way. I was like, that made me laugh when I saw it. I was like,
yeah.
oh.
It's still cool to see him
still
dodge.
going, and going back the other way.
And I loved because Tom Welling said for this episode, for the behind the scenes, is they told him, because he initially was doing it like in slow motion, and they told him that they would put it in slow motion. So he said it would just look like this while filming. I'm like, that would have been funny.
I mean, actually, they do. I know that when they do film a lot of things slow motion, they do actually have you do it slow motion, and then they go even further. So it's surprising that they did that. But I agree with you that shot was a little too long. I think they were having fun,
Yeah,
it was cool, but yeah, I was like, all right.
But this was, I think this is technically the fastest we've ever seen Clark go, because it is a speeding bullet, and he's
That's
faster.
a good point. Yeah.
So this is like an advancement of his abilities. I think he was even surprised.
Yeah.
That's a good way of looking at it. That makes sense.
And
I
my
love when Phelan
favorite
just starts shooting at everyone. I'm like,
you dumb.
like, you always have these fail-safe plans. Sorry.
My favorite shot of moment of the shot with the bullet is when the bullet passes him and he turns back and his cheek brushes through the smoke and it goes, those small details just help so much.
I'm surprised I didn't notice that on my Blu-ray with my big TV. I noticed Clark's eye colors, but I don't notice that. I don't know. But even Phelan, I guess he realized that his other scenarios weren't going to be in play, because he just starts shooting at the guards as they walk in.
Yeah, he only went in here with one scenario, apparently.
Yeah. And that was, I guess, to kill Clark. I guess he was going to kill Clark regardless of if he threw the bag out or not. I don't know.
No, he said to him after Clark got the thing out of there, he's like, man, we're going to keep going.
Yeah.
We're going to be great.
I had took that at first, that like he was just saying that to throw Clark off.
But
I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how his brain.
But maybe that was one of his contingency plans. He sees the guy get hit by a bus and he's fine, and he's like, "Well, you're not bulletproof." Well, are you sure?
Yeah, I know. I was like, buddy, Yeah, what makes you think he's not? If he can stop a bus and you can drop a generator on him and he's fine, makes you think he's not? We still don't know because Clark dodged a bullet, but
That's true. We don't know.
I part of me actually felt that he was going to get shot that scene, and you'd actually realize, oh,
oops,
can like take a bullet, you know? Like I thought that's what was going to happen when he pulled out the gun.
No,
Instead of,
it was faster than the speeding bullet part.
yeah, that part. But no, I thought it was going to be the first epic, you know, Superman, classic Superman pose on Pachink.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's what I was thinking, but
and then Clark goes, "This is cheesy. I'm never doing this pose again." We're like, well,
Yeah, what if he had like, what if, okay, now this would have been dumb, but also kind of awesome. What if instead of dodging, he like grabbed the, oh wait, it was outside by that point. Whatever.
Yeah, I thought he was going to catch
redo
the bullet.
this scene, and
Yeah.
he shoots at Clark, and Clark picks up the armor and holds it in front of his chest so that there's the S right in front of his chest.
Ooh,
That would have been cool.
the
Yeah.
image is the S.
Would have been on the nose.
What if it was that Phelan was like, man, maybe this would have been a better end to the episode actually, because maybe with what you were thinking, Andrew, that he always intended to kill him, because like this was like his retirement plan was getting these really expensive jewels, and it's like he knows that he can't really keep using Clark over and over. Clark's gonna, you know, figure his way out at some point. So maybe it would be like, okay, now I'm gonna kill you. Shoots at him with thing. He puts up the shield thing, and then knocks him unconscious with it, and then throws it out the window.
Yeah.
And then everyone rushes into him being unconscious. Although, no, the bullet would have to ricochet off the shield and hit him in the chest because he still has to die at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm rewriting the episode. I'm going back in time. I'll let you guys know how it goes.
So
and you'll be like, wait, what? Because it would have been changed.
Yeah.
So turns out he lives. Lex eventually gets the information out of him as well in the process of that. And then I don't know.
Well, and the thing about Phelan with this plan is let's say it worked out and he got away. As many connections as he has, and even though he has dirt potentially on Lex has a lot of connections, and we've seen already what happens when someone comes forward with dirt on Lex, what he can do to them. He probably would still end up in a situation like this just further down the road, if he had gotten away from this, you know.
True. Yeah, it is interesting. Why wouldn't? All right. Now this is cooler.
The light bulb is turned on.
No, because you think, why wouldn't Lex pull that tactic? He could protect Clark. He could be all like, nah, you know things about me, Phelan, but I can take you down. I can make you disappear just like the previous guy. I can ruin you. But he doesn't. And why doesn't he? Because Phelan has something on Clark and he wants to know what it is.
And he even asks him right before he dies, and that's when Phelan says, "Go to hell."
Yeah. He wants to know. He let Phelan go after Clark.
You know what? It's like I said with last week with the episodes, we're starting to see little teases of who Lex becomes.
Yeah.
And this, now that you bring it up, Ian, this is one of those points where, as much of a friend as Clark is, he's curious and he's willing to let Clark potentially get hurt, even though he knows Clark can't really get hurt, physically at least, and find out what it is. He wants to know so bad.
Yeah.
And he kind of, like Spencer said earlier, though, we see at the end of the episode, he kind of figured something out. He notices something.
Because he knows Clark was there.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah.
And then he's not.
And Lex must live in his office, because when he's not out and about, when he's he's just at his office with a fireplace and
that's the only set that can afford for that house.
Exactly. That's it. That's just, he just probably has
it
a
was
bed
too
in there,
expensive. Like, those stained glass windows are not cheap, man.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah. So, yeah, I just thought that was funny.
But yeah, he even does like say, I can get a bunch of lawyers, I can get Jonathan out of jail. But he doesn't ever confront Phelan in a way to get him to stop. Because he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
I did find it initially that or interesting that like Clark like brushed him off as well. You know? He was like, here, Lex was like, let me help you with your problem. And Clark's like, move aside. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay. I don't know. I thought there would have been a little more to that than just saying no. But at the same time, I think it obviously all links to the whole emotional side we were talking about earlier.
Those high
I mean,
school
if Lana
emotions, you know.
had a team of 10 lawyers to get Jonathan out of jail, he would have accepted that help so fast.
Oh, 100%.
But maybe it also means that he doesn't fully trust Lex, because he's like finding out just little things about Lex as well.
Yeah. That's true, yeah. Well, and just high school emotions. Clark was kind of in his head. He was mad at himself, mad at the situation, mad at Phelan. And I think Lex was just like one more person, one more thing. And he's like, nah, I think Clark very much felt like he had to handle it on his own and he didn't want help.
Either that or he couldn't.
Yeah.
Like the glare off of Lex's head was too strong. It was giving him a headache. He had to get out.
He was like, Lex, I can't see. You're blinding me.
Maybe that's why you hated Lex the whole time.
Yeah. You know what? Next episode, Clark is going to buy Lex a hat. A nice hat.
For Christmas. I mean, it is getting cold. It's getting cold in Smallville, you know?
Yeah, come on, Lex.
Yeah, it's cold out there in Kansas. Yeah. Gotta keep that head warm.
So funny.
Or get a wig or something, because,
that would be too on the nose.
Imagine Lex with the wig.
I know, yeah. One of those Gene Hackman wigs that he wears.
Or imagine him just wearing like one of those I don't remember what kind of hat it's called, but it's got these little flaps on the side.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, the people wear where it's cold. Yeah, I don't know what they're called.
I know what you're talking about.
It doesn't get cold enough down here often enough for me to have one of those.
Well, shave your head and then you can get one.
Ooh, take a lot to shave my head. So
yeah, don't.
My head was shaved so much when I was a kid. I was like a little Lex.
Wait,
I
really?
finally grew it out. Yeah, because it was just easier when I was in school. It was just when I was young. It was just easy to keep it short. I wasn't bald, but it was short. It was like buzzed. So I was a little Lex, just running around, scheming, taking notes.
The origins to the now evil Andrew, as we know him now.
I know everything. I have cameras everywhere, access to anything. So, yeah.
I don't know. He knows all their deepest, darkest secrets now. I don't know how to feel about this.
I'm not going to be allowed on the show anymore. So.
Anyway, I thought the episode ended nicely though. Had nice little resolution with everything, and then the tease for what's to come, which quite exciting seeing Lex getting closer and closer.
I know. I'm starting to get nervous. I'm like, oh no, Lex, because I'm curious to see how Lex is going to react when he finds out about Clark and everything.
Yeah.
Blur.
All he knows is there's a Flash in Metropolis, but there's no Flash yet. So
what would be hilarious is with the screen is if Victoria came up and said, "You have a double speed, 2x speed." Like that's why it looks like that. Yeah.
You try to making sure your video's right.
Yeah. Have you turned it off and on again? Yeah. Have you unplugged it?
No, he needs Lex to fix it. Not wait. Shoot, he is Lex.
Your screen looks a little dirty.
Clark to fix it.
Your screen looks a little dirty. Let me scrub it off for you there.
Yeah. Looks like.
I do want to say though that why did Phelan getting shot automatically mean that Jonathan is released? Because as far as the police were concerned, there was no link. to Phelan.
Well, I wonder if, like, I don't know if the stuff came out about him, like the Metropolis, like the once people heard he was dead, like
like everyone was like, "Oh, here's what I have on him."
Oh, by the way, I don't know, potentially.
That makes sense. That people.
That's the logistics side. The show side is it's a happy ending.
Yes.
So,
yes.
You know what? What it could be is that the cops, they know Jonathan so well that they're like, we know you didn't do this, but this guy, he was just really annoying, and Metropolis PD, we felt intimidated.
He was
I don't
really
know.
annoying, so we put you in jail.
We had to put you in jail for the weekend because this guy just really annoying. He wanted us to arrest you, so.
That's so stupid. Oh, gosh.
Or they did the DNA check. They did the DNA. I don't know.
The height of Smallville's finest, right
Yes.
here.
So, as we come to a close for this episode, now's the important question: who is everybody's superstar, and why is it Sam Phelan?
Plot twist. Yeah. See, that's interesting. There was so much going on in this episode. I don't know if I would say Jonathan Kent, just with how well he handled everything outside of the scene at the coffee shop, because I'm trying to think of like a standout in a good way, like a superstar. Like I really like the guy that played Phelan, but I wouldn't say like, oh yeah, he was woohoo.
Sorry.
So I don't know.
What about you, Ian? Do you have one?
I'm actually going to choose Clark for this one.
Okay.
I usually try not to because, he is usually the one that saves the day.
Yeah.
But no, I think he just handled things really well throughout the episode. I mean, even when he would kind of mess up, it was like he's really trying to handle this in an adult way. I mean, like he's telling his parents everything. And he listens to them about like at least, well, actually, no, he doesn't. He didn't stay away, but he's trying to handle things the right way. And he was using his brains. He's like, with the thing of throwing the safe out the window onto the guy's car and calling the police, it's smart. As we were saying, that would typically be the end of the episode. But Phelan was just smarter. But Clark comes back again at the end and is like, no, I'm not going to let you use me. And then throws that thing out the window and,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm going with Clark. He was really good in the episode. And he restrained himself. He's like, I wanted to kill him, but I didn't. He didn't need to have someone in the room telling him not to kill him. He didn't do it, So, yeah, him. What about you, Spencer?
I think for me it's probably Jonathan Kent. I think he played a really nice father figure role. You all touched on it, I think, pretty much head on when we were talking about him a bit at the beginning, where it it really set a great example for Clark, and it is definitely really showed, I think, the character of Jonathan Kent at his core, and a bunch of great stuff about him, especially considering the situation that they were all in. And so, he is one that stood out to me the most.
Awesome. And so that he was yours too, Andrew?
Yes. Yeah. I liked, outside of the scene at the coffee shop, I liked how well he handled everything from a father standpoint. And we just, I think this is in the comics, but also just Superman in general. Jonathan is so protective of Clark that there's no limits to what he'll go through to protect him. And so, and we see that a bit here in this episode. So
yeah. For sure.
Definitely a good episode for them as a family unit.
Yes.
All right. Well, that brings us to a closing. We spent a while talking about just Rogue in this episode. Next episode of Before the Cape, we will be officially over the halfway mark of season 1. So it'll be like the mid-season sort of, I guess, episode where we will be talking about Shimmer Hug. 2 episodes, but together they're Shimmer Hug. So
how cool is it how well the episode titles sometimes
I know,
go
right?
together? Like, that's just funny.
Yeah.
Craving Jitters, though, it's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, that's true. I would say Shimmer Hug's a close second, though. But
yes, yeah.
Craving Jitters, that was quite the title there. But yeah, make sure to tune in next week. Same super time, same super channel.
Closing in on 200, by the way.
We are 3 episodes close. I forgot to say that right at the beginning. Hit that like and subscribe button. Almost at 200 subscribers. I'm 3 subscribers away, so that's awesome. Thank you everyone for listening to it. And before we get out of here, what does everyone else have going on this week?
Yeah, tomorrow night on the Cayman Focus YouTube channel, we'll be going live at 9 p.m. Eastern for our Thanksgiving movie. We're off a week. It will be a movie by the name of Thanksgiving, which I randomly came across on Tubi.
You should explain it to Ian really quick.
Yeah,
No,
so
you shouldn't.
It's a great movie. It's forget planes, trains, and automobiles. This is a new Thanksgiving classic
Oh my
where
God.
like 5 college students go on like a weekend getaway, and it's right on the anniversary of when a turkey like hunted down people and killed them or whatever. And so one by one, the students are taken out by a puppet turkey that goes gobble gobble before it wipes you out. So
Actually,
like-
as a vegetarian, I kind of support this.
well, there you go. I mean, this is my version of when Spencer did Winnie the Pooh. This is probably that same level of movie.
It's revenge.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's what we're talking about tomorrow night.
I am planning on trying to watch it tomorrow, maybe possibly start.
I was gonna say it's literally only like an hour long. It's like an episode of TV nowadays. So
yeah, I'm planning on watching it. So
yeah, I gotta watch it tomorrow, and I'm just like, I hope it only takes me an hour. Let's see. Monday night on the Feast of Phantoms YouTube channel, we'll be going live for MCU Mondays with Jessica Jones Season 2, Episode 10. Then Thursday night for a Cantina Happy Hour, we're doing Clone Wars. I believe it's Season 2, Episodes 16 and 17. I'm pretty sure we're doing. And then I'll be back here next Saturday. So that's all I got.
All right. Ian, don't have anything?
I have a life, people. Come on.
No, you're okay.
He's saying I don't, so.
I just want to say publicly.
No, I meant I do have a life. It's just not on here.
I know what you mean.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I do want to publicly say I conned Ian into buying a PS5. Quite proud of that.
Yes, you did.
Wow.
It legitimately wouldn't have happened without you. First,
This is
because you told me
100%
about
true.
it. You told me it was on sale. And second, because I really was leaning against it because I'm like, well, my PS4, it still works. I feel bad like abandoning it, And then Spencer said, well, you could put that up in your bedroom. I'm like,
there you go.
Dang. And so I spent $500.
Dang.
And okay, let me tell you this. Okay, so we came back early today, and it was good we came back early today because it did get sent early. It was supposed to be here tomorrow, and I was concerned about it coming early while we were gone, because I didn't want it, sitting out on the doorstep in the freezing cold and someone steal it maybe. And so it did come early, but my mom had held the mail for our house. And so it actually got held at the post office. So it would have been fine if we hadn't come up early. But I thought, okay, good. It's probably safer there anyways. I'm thinking it's safer there anyways. So we go to get it. And the guy comes out with it over his shoulder. Comes up to the counter.
Ace Ventura.
And he doesn't set it on the counter. He drops it.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, this is expensive.
What's next? Did she kick it like Ace Ventura?
No.
Oh
I
my
mean,
god!
But I was so mad at this guy. I was just.
Good
Yeah.
thing gets packaged well in there.
It is like I opened it and it's in those
Yeah.
thick cardboard things, but still, man, you know,
But still,
something
you
could shake loose. It's just
Yeah.
respect for
Right.
other people's property. You know?
No, 100%. That's a big
Exactly.
problem of
You know
why I
what? Maybe the guy suffered from jitters, and he meant to set it down lightly, and he just was like,
You're right.
He just didn't have his
mean,
craving, you know.
It's
That's
the
the problem.
Yeah.
kryptonite. It's the kryptonite poisoning getting to him. Yeah.
Ian's gonna start noticing all these weird things. He goes, maybe there's kryptonite in my town.
I mean, my
Hmm.
handshake. Wait, they're not doing it right now, but
It's a cold. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, I haven't gotten to play it yet because, like, I hit download on stuff, but it was gonna take forever. So, and then I watched a basketball game, and that was here.
Well, there you go.
Are we still live?
Yeah, we still are. Yeah, we heard. Everyone heard all of that for whoever's listening.
Hopefully, the guy from the post office isn't watching, but if he is, let me tell you something about
Yeah,
respect
do better,
for
man.
his
Come on.
property.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, everything I have going on this week. Let's see. Tomorrow I'll hopefully be on camera and focus if I watch the movie. Also tomorrow I'm going to be recording a video over Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, the Frank Miller origin story. It was like the first time we got like a proper origin for Daredevil, at least like in the darker tone of Frank Miller. So like it's a huge Daredevil story, and it'd be a great place to start. And so I'm going to be reviewing that, not here though, but over on Rebel Nerd Radio, or sorry, Rebel Rock Radio, Rebel Nerd Radio. That's right. Make sure there's also a special announcement there that's going to be happening, I believe, on Tuesday. That is actually going to be concerning something here, so make sure you check that out.
You'll tell me about it after the show, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you all after the show. I just want to say it was something me and Steve have talked about doing before, but we've never actually like fully gone through it. And anyway, we actually got the ball going on something, and so like it's the thing that Steve is heralding, and so
Nice.
It's his to announce, but it's definitely something that Dingus Den, and I guess by what do you want to say? Obviously this is being part of Dingus Den, it's obviously going to be part of that too, just by ownership and stuff. So anyway, long story to say, check out our episode over Daredevil. I'm excited to talk about Daredevil because I think it's going to be like a thing that we do every now and then with Daredevil specific episodes over there, and so it's a character I'm excited to delve into more of the comics. Monday night I have Trail of Conspiracy, the D&D campaign I've been doing, where that's going to be a big episode for them. They're going to fight a big villain that's they've been chasing for a bit, and so that'll be exciting. Check that out. Lots of exciting story stuff to happen there. Tuesday, usually on my other D&D Council of Six. Go check that out. And then, I don't know if I'm going to actually have a video actually be releasing this week now that I think about it. I will be recording another video this week, but I don't think I'll actually have any video releases this week, so we'll see. And then anybody who didn't check it out, on Thanksgiving, we put out our Thanksgiving video, which is pretty great. The long Halloween read through, which was a lot of fun.
It was, yeah.
It was pretty fun. But yeah, that was great. Anyway, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I get myself involved in so much. I think that's it. So thank you all, everybody, for tuning into this episode of Before the Cape. Next week we'll be back with Shimmer Hug. The Shimmer Hug.
Yeah, that was a shimmer. I'm sorry, I didn't know how to portray a shimmer.
Yeah,
I don't know either. Yeah. We're gonna start the episode next week with that. Like, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We got a week to learn it. So
yes. So anyway, until next time, see you all later. Next time here at the Dingus Den. Laters, everyone.